Konnichiwa, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Suzuka Track Guide and Setup. Oh, well, it's the Suzuka International Racing Course, the Japanese GP, whatever you like to call it, right? It's a track where you have all the high-speed corners in Sector 1, where you wish you can run 50-50 wings, and you have long straights in Sector 2 and Sector 3, where you wish you could run 0-0 wings for the top speed. But, you have to settle for something in between, as you'll see later on in the setup. But otherwise, yeah, Japan is a very technical track. It is considered a narrow track in today's standards because of how wide these F1 cars are, right? You can't even go too wide in some of these corners. And to begin your lap, it all begins with the outlap itself. You want to make sure you are bringing up your tires up to 80 degrees Celsius at the very least, ideally around 85. These C3 soft tires here, they are quite robust, but one lap is the maximum pace you can extract out of it. So just weave a little bit here and there, get them warmed up, and get ready for the hot lap coming up very, very soon. So in the meantime, very quickly, if you love all the setups we've done so far and you're looking for more, leave like, subscribe, and now let's get into the track guide around the Suzuka International Racing Course. So for the start of your hot lap, you want to set up your corner exit nicely. So take a tight entry here, and you want to get a straighter exit going onto the main straight, as you will see shortly, which I failed to do on my most important attempt, unfortunately. So might have lost probably half tenth here. But either way, as soon as you're full throttle, use up a lot of your battery down to 70% into turn 1. And you want to look for this exit curve on the left hand side, the exit road on the left hand side. That is going to be your turning in point. Or secondary line you can use is the pit exit line that you can see on your right. That's another good reference for your turning in. And you're still flat out here. As soon as the curb on this right hand side ends, that's going to be your braking reference. You want to sort of point the car towards the outside curb on the left, towards the black part that you can see, the road on the side, right? Sort of take a rounded U corner here. And for a brief moment, once your car is fully straightened out, lift off the brakes, but just keep about 5 to 10% to get the front of your car, the nose, turned in to the next right-hander, the turn 2. It helps the car to rotate a little bit. And you can take that in 4th gear or 5th gear, whichever you feel comfortable. I'm more comfortable in 4th gear. But up to you. On the exit, we do understeer a little bit mid-corner, but yeah, full throttle. And now you want to set up the S's from here itself. Turn 3, which is coming up next. It's kind of a blind corner. As soon as I see the curb appearing, that's my turning in point from here on. And you want to be flat. You can take quite a bit of this curb as long as both your left hand tires are on the curb and your steering is relatively straight. And for turn 4, you're still sort of flat, but you lift off a little bit, about 40% to 30%, and downshift to 5th gear and turn in quite aggressively. And try not to take too much curb. And middle of the track for the exit of turn 4, and now for turn 5 here, you can take a little bit off the curb to rotate the car, but be careful with that in the race and qualifying. And you want to try to stay as much as possible to the left hand side here, so that for this next right-hander, you can open up the exit quite quickly. You may need to downshift to 4th sometimes if you are having an understeery car or just carrying too much speed initially, or just a tap on the brakes. And as soon as possible, go flat out and stay tight to this left-hander Dunlop curb and use up a lot more battery, about 5% more. And here we are at the end of Sector 1. There we go. A long sector where you gain the most of your time, and turn in at or before the 50-meter mark on your left-hand side here. And just a lift and throw the car into the corner. Sometimes you downshift to 6 for the entry. And momentarily when you're straight, you will start to apply the brakes as much as you can. and trail brake very quickly into the corner. And the next right-hander, Dagner 2, comes up very quickly. You cannot believe how fast it is sometimes, right? You can carry too much speed or carry too little speed. Throw the car into the corner, stay tight on the entry, but do not take the green part of the curb. You can still take the red and white part of this right-hander curb, but don't take the green part, otherwise it throws the car off a little bit. Best is if you can fully avoid it. On the exit, no more than half car width on the curb, otherwise it bottoms out. Stay tight to the right hand side, and this is going to bring you to the next hairpin here. Your braking reference is as soon as this red and white curb on your right hand side ends. And brake in a straight line down to third gear, and you want to stay tight on the entry here because the corner is cambered inwards. There's a positive camber which helps you to rotate. So unlike real life, where you usually see drivers taking a wider line so they can carry more speed out of the corner, in the game it's a bit different. You have to stay tight on the entry. And once you've turned in, power out as soon as you can, straighten out the car as fast as you can, stay tight to the right hand side all the way here, and use up all your battery, well, a lot of your battery, down to 50%. Stay in 7th gear, very important here. And this will help you to, downshift much quicker for this next left-hander. The turning point for this spoon curve, the first part, is going to be this green AstroTurf right after the grass ends. Be careful not to turn in too quickly, or you may touch the grass and lose grip on the front tires. And downshift to 6th gear or 5th gear, maybe a tap on the brakes if you need to. And as soon as you're straight on the curb for a split moment, you have to immediately start braking and turning in for the next part, the second part of spoon curve. And you have to set up the exit because it's going to carry all that speed down to the last braking zone. So throw the car in 4th gear and power out as soon as you can. Use all the exit curb, use all of your battery, stay tight to the left initially, slowly drift the car over to the right hand side, keep burning your battery in overtake mode down to 10%, and now we arrive at the final corner, well, the final chicane at least. You want to spot the 100-meter board on the left hand side, or you can also spot that green, not the green, the yellow board on the right hand side, the Pirelli board, or also when you see the tarmac color changes from dark gray to light gray. Those are your 3 braking references you can use. Brake in a straight line and down to 4th gear, and then last moment down to 3rd gear for just a little rotation on the corner entry. So you want to take a lot of the curb, but not more than half of it, right? Otherwise it bottoms out the car sometimes. There's a bit of RNG there. Second left, take a lot of that entry curb, and now on the exit, stay tight to the right hand side, power out as much as you can. There you go. That is a lap around Suzuka. A lot of time to be gained in Sector 1 for sure. Very little to be gained in Sector 2 and 3, but nevertheless, it looks like a decent-ish lap. So yeah, easily you can gain half a tenth by using the correct ERS modes, and I accidentally fast forwarded that. Never mind. Let's head into the race strategy anyway then. So first things first, fuel around here. You will need quite a bit of fuel. You have to overfuel so that you don't run out of fuel if there is no safety car at all. The minimum you can go is 27.5 for a 50% race. And if you want to be safe, you can run 28.0. That's 1 lap extra. Whereas for the tire strategy, you are running the C3, C2 and C1s over here. The C1 hard tires are the best race tires. You can take the medium tires first until lap 9 or 10, and then you can go on to the hard tires till the end. Obviously, if you pit early, you'll get a better undercut, but you'll have to manage your tire wear at the end. If you extend your lap until 12 or 13 on the mediums, then you can have fresher hard tires compared to everyone, maybe helping you to overtake. It is quite difficult to overtake around here anyway. Alternate strategy, you can still go for that hard to mediums, but yeah, I prefer the medium to hards anytime. And now for the race setup here, same as the qualifying setup actually, 29, 23 on the front wing and rear wing, so 6 wing gap over there. You can also go up a little bit more about 4 or 5 clicks if it's going to be a mixed condition race. So a bit of rain, a bit of dry condition. Yeah, otherwise, keep it as it is. It's a good balance between downforce and top speed around here. I found it. And if you want a little bit more rotation here and there, you can go up or go down on the wing sometimes. You can go down on the wing during the pit stop if you need more balance and stability as the car gets lighter on fuel. And that's usually a good tip for any track. If you want a lower downforce setup, just drop the wings about 3 clicks. That should be enough. If you really want to go very low, 24-18 it's like the minimum you should go. Otherwise, you lose a lot of time in Sector 1. And if you're far away, you won't be catching up in Sector 2 and 3. That's just a reality. If you're fast in Sector 1, you may have a chance in Sector 2 and 3 to overtake. Transmission is quite standard, 130. Yeah, you can drop it a little bit on the off throttle if you want more rotation. You can increase it if you want more stability. So around 30 is my sweet spot. You can go up to 35 or 40 for the race. So it's a bit more stable as the tires start to wear out. And also because you have a lot more front wing. And yeah, suspension geometry, the same as usual. Everything is minimum here. And that's the fastest you set up the car. And for the suspension, as usual, this is where the magic happens, right? Once you have found the downforce level that you like, you can adjust your front suspension. 39 or 41, both are okay. I prefer 39 around here, so it's just a little bit softer to absorb a lot of the bumpiness that you will face on this track. You can also go down to 36, 37, which is still in the stiff, but predictable handling range for the car, right? If you get what I mean. Yeah. Then you need to pair that with 23 front ride height at the very least. If you're running 41 front suspension, then you can possibly consider 22 front ride height. Otherwise, you're going to be losing a lot of time on the straights. It's like this. It's going to help you to gain a little bit more time in Sector 1, but it could also be a bit more skittish on some of the curbs. For the rears, I like it at 40. You can also increase it to 41, 42, maybe up to 44 maximum from what I tested if you are struggling over some of the higher curbs here. But otherwise, keep it at 40. For the rear suspension, in qualifying, you can actually increase it to 4 or 5 to give you a bit more stability when you are applying the throttle very aggressively in some of the high-speed corners while you're still turning. But otherwise, for the race, you can actually run it at 1 or 2 and you will not be noticing any difference. If anything, it makes the car a lot more stable. And for the anti-roll bars, for the first time in a while, we are running quite soft on the anti-roll bars. Usually I'll say for a high-speed track with high-speed direction change, run them stiff. But we also have quite a bit of front wing over here, right? +6, +7 front wing is usually quite a lot. So the car is naturally going to be quite pointy. And you want the rears to be quite blunted and soft in that way, so that you have a good balance. And one on the front anti-roll bar, it's going to give you maximum grip. You can increase it a little bit if it's a bit unstable in high speed turning. Same thing for the rear. You can increase the rear if you want more rotation. You can drop it if you want the rear to be a little bit more stable in those corner exits especially. And around 3 to 7 is the sweet spot, I feel, once again. And yeah, play around with it and find what's best for you. 100% on the brake pressure, and brake bias is going to be 55 as my default. In the race, as the tires are wearing out, you can go up to 56, but not more than that. And I prefer to keep it at 55 throughout most of the lap actually. I found it to be a bit more comfortable driving that way. You can also go down to 54 or 53 if you need more rotation in the corners, especially in qualifying. And finally, tire pressures. You need maximum tire pressures around here because of the high speed nature of the corner, of the track, my bad. Yeah, otherwise the tires are going to overheat. For the front tires, if you're smooth, you can run a little lower pressure like I'm doing, -1 psi. But if you find that your front tires are overheating or there's a lot more tire wear, then you can run maximum tire pressures. The difference is very negligible in the race. You don't really feel that much. But in qualifying, lowering the front tire pressures a little bit will help the tires to give you a little bit more grip, you know, when you're trying to get that last bit of turn in some of the tighter corners or the long corners. So find what's suitable for you. And there you go. That is the setup around Japan, the track guide, the race strategy, and everything that you need to know. I will leave you with the full speed hot lap after this. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Hope you enjoyed this. See you very, very soon for Zenford.
Yes, excellent lap. We're all very, very pleased with that one. Nice work. Come on, I'll see you back in the pits.
Oh, that was a tough quality.